feels bullshit.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's out the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth! Ignore the flames!
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Happy Friday. You thought I did that on purpose, but I didn't. I'm never going to get this damn thing right. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. How we all doing? Thank God. Look, Niels came right up here to save my ass. Well, he was.
Good morning.
Good morning, Niels. How are you?
I am doing great. And loving this weather.
Is it,
Nice and cool.
Oh, it cooled off for you guys? We've had,
Oh.
well, it cooled off here, but it's just gotten muggy.
Well, wait. It's you guys are going to get some really, really cool weather here soon.
I hope
It's
so.
supposed to last till the 10th, I think, of September.
Well, I don't want it to rain because we get rain and don't stop once it starts here. So,
No, yeah, because you guys have been locked into that like triple digit.
mm-hmm. Longer
So-
than we normally ever get locked into it.
Yeah, there's another Arctic cold front coming through for you guys, and it's going to cool it off significantly. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure my garden will love it. I better get out there and start harvesting everything.
Gigi's got your garden's got his poor tongue hanging out right now, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. We're definitely watering a couple times a day just to try to keep it, cooled off enough that everything ain't going to shrivel up and die.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that problem about a year or two ago. Well, actually, a year before last. My water bill was crazy.
Yeah, my last water bill was $400.
Oh,
That's for
God.
2 months, but still, that's that you pay every other month, and that was for 2 months. Usually, it's $100, not $200 a
Yeah.
month.
Ouch.
So yeah, we were a little pissed. It was like, I guess the front yard's gonna die again. I'll go get the paint and paint it. I'll paint my grass before I'm spending $400. And mind you, my yard's about the size of a double driveway, like, a 2-car driveway. It's about that wide. It's not that big at all. So yeah, a little frustrating, but you live and learn, I guess.
I told Angie, I said, just take all the grass out and put concrete in and just paint it green.
Well, we this is how we've done it for a few years. This year we didn't because we'd pulled that tree out and we had to reseed the yard put more dirt in and all that good shit. So Marvin seeded it, and I said, if you're gonna spend the money on seed, then we're gonna spend the money on water. Oh, that was until we got that $400 bill, and I went, oh, forget
Yeah.
it. So I'm ready. Well, it's almost fall time now, so I don't care. But next year, I'm probably just gonna straight up do the paint and paint my front yard. Is if you've got a small yard, trust me, if you're paying a lot in water, it's worth spending the $80 on the paint and just painting your yard. Same there. You just wait until all the grass dies out so you don't have to mow it again. And then you just paint it. Even the dirt that you paint will look like grass because you paint it and it don't rain, so you're good to go.
Go out and pressure wash it twice a year.
Yeah, well, it will. I mean, eventually the water will kind of make it go away, and then once the rain comes and it grows, then you do have to mow it again, and the paint goes away, and it's all biodegradable paint, but it works really well. I mean, we've even had it rain on it a few times, and it stayed right there. So yeah, pretty.
I've heard of people using it,
It
especially
works
in
really
early
well.
spring.
You use a weed sprayer. Hell yeah, I've done it 3 years, and it saved us. I mean, at first I didn't think it was saving us. Now that we're having $400 water bills for 2 months, I'm thinking $80 for the paint won't be too bad.
Nope. That'd be worth it.
Yep.
We're
So
getting ready to plant
Mishka.
some trees here soon.
Oh, nice. I didn't want another tree plant in the front yard. I'd like to make it as easy as possible. So no needles, no leaves. Even though I gotta say that I'm about ready to buy a canopy for my front window because that sun beats down on it in the afternoon, and it definitely boils the living room. So Mishka was the first one here. She gets the boobies even if she doesn't want them. And Mishka, I will be getting a hold of you because I have a proposition for you, or favor, or whatever. Anyways, yeah, I'll get in touch with you one way or the other. Text, email, something. But I don't know if she's here, but
I don't know if she's still here or if Flatty's here. And where's Mouse? Airbag's here, but Mouse isn't here.
Oh, Mouse probably getting all her stuff together. Who knows? She got a big family. She tries to keep going. So I always figure she knows she can come in at any time because she's got the keys. So, she can come in whenever she wants, even though I send her the link. But yeah. And then who was the other one? Let's see. Oh, Flatty. Right. That was the second one that, of course, don't show on the chat this morning. But I know that she was the second person here. So good morning, Miss Flatty. And then Mr. Hairbag came. Well, actually, Niels came in, and then Hairbag came in. So I even remember. And then we had Miss Suzanne and Mr. Dark and Lady A and Chicken Lady. So yay. Am I missing anybody? Good morning, y'all, or afternoon, whatever it is for you guys.
Most of the gang's here.
Yeah. It's all the important people. We've got 5. That's the important ones, so we'll take them. Let's see. What's all been going on? Geez, I don't even want to talk about the whole shooting thing. That just about rips my heart out and makes me sick to my stomach. I got a grandson that's getting ready to start school, and wouldn't you know it?
And then this string of college shootings, and some were hoaxes, some were legit, and apparently it's like a nationwide thing right now. So I don't know if it's a bunch of copycats or some crazy movement or what's going on, but it's got law enforcement on edge. And speaking of that, did you see where the DC mayor this morning said that yes, Trump's crackdown on crime in the district is working? Like, big surprise. They were against it, and she was trying to copycat what Newsom and everyone was saying in LA, and then she turned around and said, no, it's improved a lot.
Yeah, I think they just need to realize it. I mean, there was a way to go about it. Now, I don't believe that I don't want our freedoms taken at the cost of keeping us safe. Let me say that right now. I'll say it again and again, but I definitely think that, there's stuff that we can do without taking our freedoms. And I think they're getting it handled actually fairly well. I haven't heard tons of complaints about people that weren't legitimately illegal being dealt with. So I don't feel like a lot of our freedoms are being taken to do this right now. I still think we need to keep an eye on that and make sure that you know they stay in their own lane.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. As long as they're kept in check. And that's what I was worried about at the beginning, was something like that happening
yep.
and it just getting out of hand. But he's actually going for the most troubled areas in the United States. Like, there was talk of Chicago, cleaning up Chicago. 100% for that. Now, it'd be a difference if they sent the National Guard out to like where we live, for crime. And it'd be like, what crime? Larry hit a mailbox with his tractor last week.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
and we also got to remember what the National Guard is really there for. They're not running around pulling people out of their houses, checking their IDs, and they're doing none of that. They are literally backing the cops. They're backing the police force. They're backing the ICE. It's not so much that they're going around and shaking people down. That was what I was kind of concerned about. Was I didn't want um, 9/11 kind of proved to us how they'll do things. Oh, well, for your safety, we're going to fondle you. No, it's, I mean, I'm sorry. Leave the little old lady alone in the wheelchair. If you, if you got to the point where you think that she's that much of a criminal, then your little metal detector should test everything that you need to. I mean, y'all are so, skilled at all this shit. You should be able to tell it without fondling the little old lady that can't get out of her wheelchair.
yeah, exactly.
Is my voice soft and low?
Mhm.
Must be that morning thing.
So, yeah, and it's not uncommon for the National Guard to be deployed to supplement operations with public safety. And that's the one thing at the national level that the media and nobody's talking about is for 4 years straight. There has been a employment crisis with public safety nationwide. Nobody wants to be a cop or a firefighter or a paramedic anymore, and it's draining the system as well because calls have increased. And they've tried recruiting drives, even with corrections officers here in West Virginia. The governor had to multiple times deploy the National Guard to supplement the corrections facilities, the prisons and stuff, to help them out. So yeah, I believe you're right. The National Guard is doing what they were intended to do. One of their duties. But it's this public safety crisis nobody's talking about.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely am. Um, and Bruce, you're right. I was kind of a little annoyed, I have to say, to see that the National Guard, they're picking up the trash in Washington, D.C. Well, I mean, every job needs done, and I get it, but could we? They're the National Guard. Could we possibly find something that would be a little more in their realm of their skills? I'm sure they've got trash picker up or down, but I just I don't know. I think they could probably just hire some more garbage men and get that job done. Of course, the garbage men probably make more than National Guard does, so maybe we better just
Yeah,
lucky stars.
yeah. He's rebalancing everything. At first I was like, okay, tariffs, I agree with that, and a few other issues, and it was like, what the hell is he doing? And then you see prices going up and inflation. Actually, inflation is starting to come down, but a lot of these corporations are jacking up their prices because they don't want to eat the tariffs. Well, when people stop buying stuff at those stores because they jacked up the prices, they're going to lose money, and in turn, they're going to say, "Okay, fuck it, we'll have to pay the tariffs," and end up lowering prices. And some stores have done that, including some grocery stores. Are like, "Yeah, we're losing money,"
Well, I
and
know, I know people bitch about the whole tariff thing, but let's go back to when Obama, the gas prices and all of that, and how all of our shipping went up crazy. It was just nuts. I was doing Central Supply when Obama came into office, and he jacked all the prices up for fuel, and he went through all that thing. I don't know exactly all the bullshit that he did that caused all these prices to go up, but in the process, the shipping went up. Well, when the price of fuel went back down, the shipping prices never went back down. Never. I mean, I did another 4 years after that before I left that job in Central Supply, and never did the prices ever go back down. The shipping prices stayed the same. So even though the gas went, and that any time that they're going to jack something up, it's never going to go back down. And that's kind of the frustrating part for me, is when people are like, well, this has gone down, this has gone, but it's really not. Go to the grocery store. My grocery bill has not gone down 1 penny since Trump came into office. I know we'd all like to think that it would, and I have to tell you that I don't think it's going to go down in the next 3.5 years either. I do not believe it is. I think my grocery bill is still going to be enormous. And dude, there's 2 people in my household. 3 days a week I have a grandson, and every now and then I have a granddaughter that comes over. That's it. And my grocery bill is enormous every time I go. And that's nuts. I don't even go to the middle of the store. I stay on the outside of the store. I don't even go in those middle aisles. And it's still just an outrageous price. So I just think that we better realize that when all the prices go up, even though we really want stuff to go down, I have to tell you, I just don't know how he's going to do it. I know that little things go down a little bit, but, okay, so the eggs went down $1. I'm sorry, but that dollar ain't going to save us all. And there's not been a whole lot of any other groceries I see that are going down. I know he keeps saying they are, but I don't see it. And I have to tell you, our fuel prices have gone up.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Anytime that there's going to be a tariff, we are the people that are reaping those goods. That's us. We want those goods. So who's going to pay for it? We're going to pay for it. If we ever thought we weren't going to pay for the tariffs, you're out your rabbit ass mind. We're the ones that are going to pay for it. It's what we want. We want those goods. So we're the one that's going to. Why should anybody else pay for it?
Yeah, that's what the corporations are doing. They're jacking up the price to have the consumer cover the cost of the tariffs that they have to pay.
Well, if they don't, then those companies, they won't be in business long. If they eat it, they won't be able to stay in business long. I mean, we have to eat it.
Yeah, and I mean it's temporary. It's not going to last long. I've done the math. It's not going to last long. I said it's going to suck for the first 2 months. And of course, what was it? August 7th, I think, was this last one. And you'll see a significant improvement, especially over winter and by January next year. Mark my words. Mark my words. So it's going to be rough now. And like you just said, where the consumer is trying to make us pay for or the corporations are trying to make the consumer pay for the tariffs right now. And a lot of Walmart, Kroger, and some Target and some other stores are starting to lose money for it. They're going to start dropping prices fast to attract that consumer base back. Now, Aldi and Dollar General actually took a proactive approach to it and started dropping it to attract a larger consumer base.
I don't think our prices, I wished our prices would drop, but I don't think they're going to. I really believe they're going to stay where they're at and only get higher as we go on, because I just don't see how. I mean, he like I said, he keeps saying for the last 3 months, he said that the prices have dropped. I'd like to take him grocery shopping, and I'd like to take one of my receipts from a year ago and one from right now and compare. And I'm going to tell you that there isn't going to be any difference. In fact, things may have gotten higher in some instances. Like I said, eggs went down because that was a big thing. They kept digging at him about the eggs. So somehow they made him go down. Here's what I think happens. I think
Coffee
the stores
prices
get
just doubled.
used to it, and the stores go, we don't want to lower our price. So no matter what Trump does in trying to get our prices lowered, unless there's something put into place that says they have to lower them, I don't see the stores going to do it.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to save those. That's up to the consumers. And prices of coffee just doubled too.
Yeah, $16.99 for 3 pounds of coffee.
Yeah.
From Fred Meyer's right now.
And where Angie's in retail right now, she gets the heads up before they elevate anything like chocolate. Chocolate's doubled as well.
Yeah.
So I understand that he's trying to force more companies to produce stuff locally versus having it imported. I do agree with that. That'll help our GDP as well. And any money that comes back in the federal government, you know, he's going to get back to the people, or he's going to put into programs that's going to help the American people. But it's not an overnight process.
Yeah, and I don't think it is. Here's the problem, though, is he's thinking that prices have gone down, yet we, the consumer, that are on the outside here paying for those, because we actually have a checking account that the minute we take anything out of it, it's a huge, we notice it. He doesn't have that. You could take thousands of dollars out of his account. It wouldn't be a huge chunk for him. It wouldn't be a big bite out of his budget. For us, no matter what we take out of our account, we notice it. It doesn't matter whether it's, $10 or $50. We notice those bits being taken out because we don't have that nice big checkbook. And so we notice when it's being taken out. So when he says the prices are better, I really need him to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, you just want somebody to slap him upside the head.
I really would like somebody to knock him right side the head and say, dude, you're not looking. You're not paying attention. And here's the problem with that is it makes the rest of us that truly believed in what he said from the last 4 years and, up till now, he told all these things he told us he would make sure he'd get handled, and he did. The first 4 years he did really well, but now we are starting to see where there are things that he has said he was going to do and he hasn't done, or he says he did and there's a difference, and we're looking at it on this side going, there's not a difference. I'm still paying the same price that I said before. I mean,
Personally, I think he should have waited until after the first of the year to jack up the tariffs, not do it right before Christmas season during that fourth quarter, because it's not going to decrease the prices on everything between now and the end of the year. And plus, you have the petrol being converted over to winter grade here in the next month or two, so gas prices are going to go up again by October. So yeah, it's like good idea, but bad timing.
Yeah, I just think we need to call him out on the things that we see that are wrong. We can't just immediately go to, just because he's Trump and we believed in what he said before, we believe in it now. We truly have to hold every one of these guys accountable, including Trump and all of these politicians. They got to be held accountable. The minute that we just let them do what they want, look what happens. I mean, and I don't give a shit which side you're talking about, whether you're talking the right or the left or straight down the middle. If you just give them full reign, they're going to take it and they will run with it, and they'll run right over you in the process. So I just think that we need to hold these people accountable. And there are certain things I think needs to be taken away. Immunity needs to be taken away from it. You don't get immunity.
100%.
There is no immunity. I don't give a shit who you are.
Especially not a blanket immunity like he did.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
any
100%.
and everybody. Like he just made a whole list, and for 10 years you can't touch these people.
Mm-hmm. We got to turn you up now.
I need to put a little more coffee in it, huh?
I think so. You need to get you some zing zing, girl.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic
You're
check.
good.
Baby, sound good. You've got
Okay. Thank you, Gigi, for allowing me up. But
Of course.
thank you for your help and always showing love. Got you. Nils, thank
What's
you
up,
for
buddy?
what you always do for our country, dog. You can always tell a man when shit happens in life or in their house, how a man responds. Respect, dog. Respect, always. Malice, you always know.
Thank you, Battle.
Always, dog. You made your name in crisis. You didn't make your name doing times were good. You can tell by a man's name when crisis happens, and everybody can always remember your name came through crisis, bro. Your shit is good.
Appreciate
Neil's
you.
a good dude.
That
Mm-hmm.
is true. I don't even think.
Mm-hmm.
Niels, did you ever know that you were caught on the news a couple of times? I don't think they ever interviewed you, but I could see you walking around the background sometimes on the news.
I've been busy.
we saw. It was everywhere,
Yeah.
even on the news.
I like chaos. I like bringing order to chaos rather.
Mm.
That's my gift. I guess you can say that's my number one talent.
Well, that and how you explain, because I met you. I think you was on Traders, and you was explaining what was going on, and that's where I met you. But
Hmm.
your explanation. I think you was talking about the helicopters and how help was. You at the same time you explained it, you explained the other side of how the federal government worked. That's what it was. You gave the information and you gave the story, and not many people know how to do it. So that's a gift that you got, dog. A real good gift. You're almost a politician. I ain't gonna say you there, but damn, you close.
Uh, I'm too.
You damn
Yeah,
close.
man. I've been asked to run for office
I
twice the past
told
two
you.
terms here, and I told them I'm too smart.
Yeah,
That's why we need you in
I'm telling you.
there.
No, well,
Yeah.
what is that thing called, Gigi? I'm trying to get you in mouse to do. Person that critiques the government and policies. That might be down your realm, big dog.
Right?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah,
Like you're not paying attention.
we just
Yeah,
call it the
but
coffee club.
yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying. We're trying to keep Gigi and trying to keep her out of jail. We need a GoFundMe, man. Every time
I'm
Gigi
gonna
start
need one,
talking,
I'm
that it
telling
should
you.
just pop up. GoFund Gigi, get out of jail fund. Every time she go off, it should
I
just
said I need to
bing.
get away from politics because I think it would be, it would probably behoove me to get away from it. I would probably, number one, I'd probably make more friends.
Gigi, all you have to do is get a Cash App. If y'all want Gigi to stop, Cash App her, and girl, you will make so
I
much
have a
fucking
cash
money.
app. Nobody cares
Just
about the
put it up,
cash app.
Gigi. Put it up anytime you start talking. If you want Gigi to stop talking about politics, Cash App her $2.99. Gigi, you're a big God.
It's a
Use
I
it,
fun.
will.
girl. Use it.
Yeah, I mean, and I have a friend that's a delegate here in the state of West Virginia, um, prior military business center and stuff, and he's a straight shooter. And he's like, man, seriously, I will help you if you want to run for office. And I said, you guys would kick me out in a week. You do not want to hear what I have to say on that floor. I already pissed off the Senate Majority Leader a few years ago uh, because they were trying to do the budget and stuff. They were trying to finalize the budget to send to the governor, and he said, you're just a plain citizen. What's your views? And I said, eliminate personal property taxes. And he's like, my God. He said, this state would go broke. I said, no. I said, the other 55 counties would be able to supplement for it. Plus, you have the coal severance tax. You have all this money that's coming in through the tolls and the casinos. I said, use that and eliminate personal property taxes, and you will see a big influx of people wanting to move here. I guarantee you. So we got into a pretty heated debate about that. And I just finally stopped him and I said, listen, when you can justify why I'm paying taxes on property that I own, I'm paying rent every year to the county and the state that I live in for property that I own, free and clear. You can justify that, then I'll be for it. I said, until then, it's that.
Yeah, I agree.
On property that I own, I should not have to pay rent to my county or state.
I agree.
And
And especially once it's paid off.
yeah,
And if I
and that
don't,
shut his
they
ass
can
up.
they can take my property that I paid for if I don't pay that tax.
So guess what the state did in the past 2 years, thanks to Jim Justice. I will give him credit for that. As they're starting to cut personal property taxes in half. They're eliminating personal income tax in the state of West Virginia by 100%, and with the real property tax and the personal property tax on like vehicles and machinery. So you actually get a rebate every year now. So I was like, I literally just said that a few years prior, and the governor actually listened and took action on it.
I got a question. Mouse, you lived in Texas. Isn't that what Texas is doing? What he's describing?
The redistricting?
No, the taxes, property taxes, the no taxes for the businesses. Isn't that how Texas get all the companies and businesses come there? Since you lived there once, isn't what he's describing how Texas got their property taxes? Like it sound the exact same way.
I don't know. I'm more familiar with the property taxes in Tennessee. I don't know how they're doing it in Texas right now. I know in Tennessee they've got a guy driving around in this little car deciding what your property is now worth. Everybody's taxes rose just because somebody out there said, I think it's worth double.
Yeah, actually, here in the county that I live in, they do that all the time. They never come into our house to see if the square footage is right or if there's been, other work. None of that. They just drive by and take a picture of the house and then jack the taxes up.
I got a question then. I got a question for since we all have homes and have property taxes. This is just a simple question for property tax. Is is crime part of your property tax?
What do you
That's
mean?
more included into your insurance policy.
Yeah.
That's
But
that's
but
by the ISO, the insurance service.
No, not in the value, really.
would if you had a $200,000 house in a regular area and you had a $200,000 house in a designated crime area, would the what's that when you go
Okay,
appraise the house, would it drop?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's like in a lower income, high.
it's
There you
about
go.
it's about the houses around it, though. I mean, the crime plays into it. But if you build a nice $200 home, well, these days it's going to be $400. The value is going to be assessed by the homes around you. So if you've got crap homes around you, it's going to drop the value of your home.
And if you've got crime around, it is going to drop the value of your house. I mean,
And
you can watch the values drop, but even like in Portland, around because most of Portland seems to be crime ridden.
Portland's
Their
screwed.
prices are way lower than out in the metro area. So out in the metro area where there's not as much crime, not as much homeless, the prices are more, or the taxes are definitely more.
That's your argument, Mouse. If they ever ask you why is ICE good, start bringing up property taxes, and you'll get it through their head.
Oh, among many other things.
You think
Well,
you think if they
but
clean
only
it
the
up, their
ones that are
houses.
paying
Yeah.
taxes. When you think about somebody that rent, they don't think about those kind of things. I mean, I know, those are things that you just wouldn't. My son wouldn't think of that. My youngest, because he rents an apartment, so to him, property taxes are. That's it does. He doesn't feel like it affects him. Like say somebody that owns their home and they
Right.
have to pay out those taxes every year. They notice it. I
Yeah.
gotta say, if you're smart, you
Imagine
just have it included in your loan. But
imagine in 4 years the property taxes in D.C. Them houses around the White House probably will become $1 million house pretty fucking soon in about 10 years if they do what I think they're about to do.
Yeah, especially on the northeast side, it's
Yes,
outrageous right now.
sir. Yes, sir. North Carolina, Tennessee, ain't y'all advancing too? Just
Oh,
saying, Mouse.
man, I couldn't believe it in Western North Carolina when they were.
Fiber optics.
Well, no, I mean we have fiber optic where I live in West Virginia, but when we were in Western North Carolina last year, and some of the houses, and I was like, some nice property, and I talked to Angie. I was like, hey, you want to get like another mountain home vacation here, or something small, or just some small property and put a cabin on it, and they wanted like $500,000. And I was like,
Wow.
you're crazy. I was like, you're absolutely. Of course,
Yeah.
Asheville's a big vacation spot. So, yeah,
Yes,
that's why they
sir.
jacked up all the prices around.
And Nils, if even so much as a creek runs through it, that doubles the value up here.
Yeah.
I mean, it is weird, but it does.
Tennessee getting the biggest supercomputer in the world. The biggest supercomputer on the planet is being placed in Tennessee this year.
Is that the one they're putting in Knoxville?
Nashville.
And it's
Or
in
was it
Nashville?
Knoxville?
I
I,
I
think
I,
heard
it's
it
one
was
of them.
Nashville.
I thought it
Let's
was
find
the
out.
It's a
federal.
new. It's a
Science
nuclear
Institute.
reactor. I think you're talking about that they
No,
just
that's
did.
the one that went in at
Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm happy for it. I don't want to see another $500 light bill, and I haven't since they put it in.
Yes, yeah, Lady Autumn Sky in Memphis. Yeah, Google and Mouse ex-boyfriend. What's that dude name? The rich dude, Mouse rich
Elon.
dude, Elon Musk.
Elon.
Elon Musk and Google is building that reactor, and they're building that supercomputer.
Mouse, you
Google.
didn't get
Oh.
nearly enough money if that's your exploit.
I'm telling you, I not even get 4.5 kids
did
out
that
of him
shit.
like everybody
You did
else.
that
4.5
shit wrong.
GG,
Go
when-
back right now. You go
Okay,
lick
the
just go back, lick your
supercomputer-
wounds and go back right now.
I'm telling you, I want my fucking alimony bits.
Put
He
your
wouldn't even
bride
put a
beside
ring
you.
on it. You know what I mean?
I don't know how they gave his kid a serial number like he's a cyborg. X20,
No.
the Alpha.
According to this, Army vet in Memphis is taking the Electrolux plant.
Oh, they
It-
got it.
It's going to go into Memphis, South Memphis, not Nashville. I thought it was Nashville.
No,
I
that
actually read it was Nashville.
that supercomputer will be the biggest on the planet. No other energy source on this planet can handle it. That's why they building that nuclear reactor. Just imagine, think about this on a power level. I have to build a nuclear reactor to control this. That's crazy.
Took it. No,
And
that's
then people
not.
say it's a time machine or something.
I don't know, but it's
The
the
other
biggest.
reason that they drug that those nuclear, what do you call them?
Yes, ma'am.
They're like portable nuclear stations, but they drug it over to Oak Ridge to help the grid. Just the power grid in general. Did they know when they put that out at Oak Ridge that they were going to bring stuff into Memphis? Did
I'm
they
finna-
know that?
I'm finna get GG started. I'm finna get.
Yeah,
Might
wait
as
till you
well-
get fired up.
Yep, here it go. I'm finna start it. We finna start it right now. Is it a myth or is it proven that nuclear plants cause cancer to the people around it?
Oh, I already know what Gigi's answer going to be.
Well, I would say there's. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
I'm
there
with
is.
you, Gigi.
I mean, I just logic would tell you there probably is.
There is a spike in carbon dioxide right now in Memphis, and there are clusters of cancer.
Y'all do know that Oak Ridge was already a nuclear facility, right?
I'm
Like, there's
just
already
saying.
Radiation.
I'm just
going on there.
saying.
They're not
That-
really adding to it.
Is that part of the discussion? Because that supercomputer will be giving off energy, and I'm just saying, is that a conversation?
I mean, it's a possibility, yeah.
I think the noise is going to be more of a complication than. I mean, I don't know that.
Should you tell them what that means? There will be no animals in Memphis ever.
Oh, there's going to be some mental people turn up in Memphis. The noise, guys, and to explain it, these servers, there's, a whole bunch of servers, just like the Bitcoining, the bit mining
Yeah.
servers. And we all know that, servers have to be cooled 24/7. They've got to maintain a low temperature and they run hot.
Yeah.
It's the fans, the buzz of those fans
It
that
gives
we
out a
learned
certain
here.
hertz. It gives out
Yeah.
certain hertz.
We learned here they were trying to put some Bitcoin mining stations in, and they were just putting servers outside, basically, in a box. And it drove the neighborhoods nuts. I think they've moved it around 3 times due to lawsuit from the noise, the buzz.
Yeah, they put one near a zoo, and the
That's
animals
such
committed suicide.
bullshit.
They put one near a zoo, and the animals committed suicide. They
Wow.
started killing themselves. So it gives out a certain hertz that animals run from it, and if they can't run from it, they kill themselves. So there will be no. So that's why they put these servers way out there, because it's constant and no animals. So Memphis, no animals, birds, dogs, ants, nothing. Nothing, y'all. You see what I'm saying? People that live there, no animals.
And they
None.
bring the earthworms up with them.
You know what I'm saying? Like nothing.
One last time.
Like they were running from this, y'all. So that means if you want to live near there, you can't have an animal because your animal gonna go crazy. It's a lot to it's part of it now. Like you said, the nuclear reactor, the hum of that new server, but it's also what Mal said, the jobs, the energy. It's a lot. It's
Yeah,
a
and
lot.
somebody's going to have to pay. More than likely, the community will absorb the power bill on that one.
It's gonna be a good one.
I don't know. I know that I don't like being right here smack dab in the middle of all these data centers. And I mean, I can throw a stick and hit Intel. My son works at Intel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh, and he works in the clean air department. So he's the guy that goes around and tests the air. And the minute that something's off, he's the one that can say, shut her down. We got to do this. We got to do that, or whatever it is that because the air's not quite right for whatever it is that they're doing in there.
Thank you, Gigi, for letting me see. Louisiana just went through that. They have a chemical fire that's been burning for 4 days. Yeah, 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 yeah. I had to research that.
Just all of this. There are so many things. The thing about it is we stayed in this area after Marv was out of school because we thought that this was the best area for our kids to get a good education. Let me tell you that Oregon has one of the worst educations. Now, when we moved here, they didn't. Their education system was really, actually, fairly well, and it was better than Idaho's. And so we thought it was the best option. And over the years, we just watched them take over. I mean, you just you seen him do a complete 180. By the time my son was in high school, I mean, I couldn't wait to get him out. I mean, I didn't, at that point, I didn't care if they graduated. I just need to get them the hell out of school before they killed them or, completely brainwash them.
Right.
Right.
And I could see it happening. I could see my kids just going, let's just do whatever they want, Mom, just so they'll stop bitching, okay? Whatever they want to do, let's just do it. I'd be like, no, no, we don't work that way. And that started in, I mean, from the time they were little with the whole, your kid has ADHD, go get him on some medications. And my response was, no, you take some Prozac or quit your job. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. I don't know how many counselors and school teachers and stuff, they're like, have you considered putting your kid on this medication? It's like, no, he's a kid. They automatically have a 20-minute attention span.
Well, and when you talk about boys, they're so different than girls. A lot of girls, most girls, now some girls are more hyper and they need, to be
Like
able
Mouse.
to run more so.
Like Mouse.
My daughter and my granddaughter were not, I could set my granddaughter down and with a piece of paper and a pencil at the age of 8 months. And by the time she was about 10 months old, that child was drawing pictures. That was how her brain worked. She could have cared less. I had to push her to go outside a lot of times. My grandson's the complete opposite. You can't keep him inside. You put a pencil in his hand and he's going to poke a hole in the wall and figure out how to get it to the other side or he did he could care less about drawing. But that's just the way their brains are so much different. So now you want to take a little boy that's 3 years old and put him in a chair and make him sit there for 3 hours. I see a train wreck.
Yeah.
You cannot do that to kids.
I got a question.
It's too young of an age at 3 years old. Let them run that piss and vinegar off and figure out how to work in the world. How they don't even to sit them in a chair and say, here, you just sit here and write at 3 years old. I think that's the dumbest thing you can do. I really believe that I wished I would have waited with my youngest.
I mean, thanks to Henry Ford and Rockefeller and a few others, the public education system, the model that we still have today was based on the society during the American Revolution, or not the American Revolution, the Industrial Revolution. Dad's going off to work, mom's at home, the kids go to school, and everything balances out. And then you program the kids for, that same type of trade in the industries. and it doesn't work today. And they've
But
been
back
using that
then,
same model for over 100 years, and it's like it needs to change.
well, the problem is I think if they would have stayed, maybe even with that model, they'd have been better off. But now they just give kids the answers. I mean, think about it. No kid has to think for themselves. It's all about whether you can, if you can find it on Google. Usually it's multiple choice. No kid's made to use their own brain and think things up. I mean, we are just like animals and we are going to use the path of least resistance. So if, if you say, for instance, this is the whole reason I go on Fools' channel and do trivia. Not so that I can cheat off of Nicolo forever. It's that I am learning through doing that because in school, they just basically gave you a lot of the answers. You didn't have to actually look for the answer. So, and find the answer. It would be right there in front of you. It's the same way now. I mean, every kid in school now has a calculator. They don't even have to figure out how to add or subtract or
No,
multiply or divide or any of that.
you're right. Or they have AI. They'll just ask AI.
Exactly. So how are their brains are mush. The other day, my granddaughter, we were doing a party for my grandson, I think it was. And she was, I don't remember what she was putting together, but she's like, "Grandma, what's this word?" She wanted, I can't remember what it was. It was like really stupid. The word was super simple. And then she came back 5 minutes later and said, "How do I spell this word?" And boulders, that was the word. She didn't know how to spell boulders. We were doing my grandson's construction site birthday party. And we'd made donut holes with boulders and we'd covered them in chocolate. And she said, "How do you spell boulders?" And I said, "Well, let's start by sounding it out, even though it's a little bit of a trick word. Let's sound it out and work on that." At the age of 14, you're headed to freshman. You're going into your freshman year.
It's
I,
it's killing their critical thinking skills, I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's, I looked straight at my daughter and said, "That is going to be dealt with this year. If I have to sit down with her and go through book after book after book until I feel she is fluent in reading, we're not doing this. I'm not. I'm not having I could not believe it. So yeah, they're going to be a little bit of an, well, Gigi's going to learn to be a teacher, even though I'm not. She's at least going to know how to read.
An English tutor, anyway.
Gee,
Y'all
I could
leading
not
right
believe
in.
it.
Y'all are leading right into my question. So keep going, keep going. Yeah, I got a good question for y'all.
Yeah, I just think that we really need to pay. Here's the deal. If you thought you were sending your kids to school and they were learning and that you were doing your job by going to work and paying the bills and keeping the house clean and making sure they had food on the table and clean clothes and all those things, you're sadly mistaken. Because if you think that that school is doing right by your child, I will beg to differ with you all day long. I'll take it to my grave that you better be doing more with your kids, because if you're not, they're coming out like mush.
Yeah. Literally, there's 18-year-old kids here that can't even start a weed eater.
Well, they wouldn't even know how to read they'd have to know how to read the directions if they didn't even know how to do that. I mean, I have one son that he could pick up the weed eater and figure out how to start it. The other one would read the directions. But if you got
What about
neither
the
of
critical
those,
thinking skills of picking it up
yes,
and going, "That looks like that should be pulled. Let's try." You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
The critical thinking.
Oh, Angie used to get so mad at me because when the kids were little and like they had a toy and a wheel popped off their car or something, and they would bring it to her and be like, "Hey, can you fix this?" And she's like, "Ask your dad." They bring it over to me, "Dad, can you fix this?" And I would act like I'm trying to fix it. I'd be like, "Buddy, I can't get it here. Maybe you can figure it out." And they would.
Yeah, yeah.
Teach your kids to be self-reliant and to think on their own.
And
Don't do
don't do it
everything
for
for
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
just
do it
sit
for them.
back and let them struggle. Struggle's good.
It is.
It's not bad to let kids struggle. And I catch myself, especially with my grandkids, wanting to do it for them. And so I'll kind of do this, take the step back and go. And I really do have to kind of tie my hands because I'm that type of person that's just like, "I'll get the fuck out. I'll do it. Let me show you.
Give it here,
look."
I'll do it.
Yes, because I don't have a lot of patience. But I have realized with with my grandkids, especially, that I need to sit back and let them do those things. I need to let them struggle. They need to do it. My son actually said it to me the other day. Would you just let my son struggle, Mom? I went, ooh,
Ooh, burn.
maybe I'll let him put
She-
that shirt on by himself, even though it's
Smart
backward
girl.
inside out.
Smart girl. That's exactly it. I mean, that's strength comes from adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And philosophy. They need to teach philosophy. There's some of the schools here they've started again at the secondary education level. Teach kids how to think.
Right, how to think, not just memorize facts, but how to critically think through a situation.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're being programmed today. They're not being educated.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's going to be my first question to y'all. Being parents and government, I don't want y'all to tell me, we both know the president. Give me the opposite on this one. Tell them why the school board affects them more than the president of the United States. You see what I'm saying? That's an out of the box conversation. Because what you're saying is what the school board is designing to teach your kid is affecting you more than the president of the United States. But do you think more parents know that? That's the question.
Well,
Or
I think
is
it
it
depends.
back or forth? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an open question.
I think it depends. I think for each person, that question is going to be answered differently.
Yes.
There's some people that don't even have grandkids, and they could give two shit. Maybe they don't even have kids, so they don't. I mean, the school board doesn't. It doesn't really, in their eyes, it won't affect them at all. It's the presidents that's affecting them, even though the school board, really, their decisions do affect you, because remember that these are kids that are going to go out in society eventually. These are going to be
They're going to be your cops.
Doctors
They're
and
going to be
lawyers
your
and
new judges.
congressmen
Yeah,
and-
doctors, lawyers.
Political leaning, like you said,
Teachers.
how the kids get taught in school, or you might have a whole panel of Republicans on the school board, or does it affect? But it's what you said. Everybody's answer going to be different, but this is America, so everybody's answers is valid.
I know where Army vets going with this, and I agree with it because, for example, and it's happening right now. People bitched about it for years. Is the U.S. Board of Education,
Yep.
Department of Education, rather. In 1977, when it was established, the United States was number one in the world for education.
There you go.
We were the smartest in the world. Since then, we've dropped to like 72. 72 or 77. You have to look it up. I can't remember, but yeah, dropped significantly because of that. And I think education should be at the local and the state level. I don't think it should be at the federal level. That was established to allow programs for like inner city youth and rural areas for poor kids and stuff to be able to get access to better education, food, and things like that. But the states can handle that at their level.
Right, and we want them to.
Yeah, and the curriculum is going to be different state to state. Like Massachusetts is number one for education in the United States right now. But the same things they learn there might not necessarily apply to Missouri or Tennessee or Virginia or West Virginia or Ohio. So it should be dealt with at the local level like it was, which made kids smarter. And then those states can set those curriculums versus having a national curriculum and everybody bitching at the federal level how these states should be educating their kids.
Because when I first met Gigi and Mouse before the election, they were constantly reminding people that it starts at the local level, counting ballots, being present in your kids' life, being present at the local level.
Yeah.
But no one's talking about it anymore. That it starts like get involved in local government and this. But I got that from y'all. Y'all were the first ones that was like, what they are teaching your children, you need to do something about, and it starts right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it starts young with children. For example, Angie and I knew that the public education system sucks, so we started teaching the kids philosophy, astronomy, and other subjects that's not taught in basic education in America.
Oh, yeah.
And why is something like that important? You know astronomy, you know what season of the year you're in and what month. If you're lost in the woods or something, say you're coming back hunting and you just get lost, you can navigate yourself to wherever you need to go. Like in our area, you know that the Ohio River is west of us, so you just go west.
And
Right.
this kind of got brought up, and maybe Mouse can talk about it. We were talking about the voucher system, and I took my daughters out of inner city and drove them you would say to the sticks to get an education rather than trying to educate in inner schools. So that entered the voucher schools and the private schools, and that's when I got the taste of what your child is being taught is different in different school board areas.
Yeah,
It is. It was a failure in Tennessee. They tried it. They didn't keep a record of how many students they had given a voucher to. So when school opened up in early August this year, they soon found out, oh, whoops, you may have a voucher, but we don't have a spot for your kid in class. Sorry. Then we hit this knowledge that, holy cow, the public schools are charging tuitions for the county school, for the county kids to attend. It's public school. Y'all are charging tuition, and the vouchers won't cover the tuition. They won't allow that to be a part of the program. It was a
Yeah, that's
flop.
bullshit.
It was a huge flop.
the charter schools bill. There was, of course, the state teachers association, the union here, got pissed off. But when they passed the charter schools, yeah, it made a lot of the teachers and the unions mad here and some of the educators. But charter schools are a plus because they're still required to teach the basic subjects by state law, but at the same time that they can teach these other subjects like chemistry and astronomy and philosophy, that's included. And it used to be that only the smart kids went to the charter schools or the troubled kids went to the charter schools. And anybody can start it. You don't have to be a certified educator to start a charter school in West Virginia. Angie and I actually talked about, hey, let's get a piece of land, let's set up a charter school and teach these kids the right way. You know, teach them to challenge their mind, not program them like the public education curriculum does now.
Yeah, I think that if, parents better start realizing it and start kind of pulling their kids out of that whole mush mentality. I don't know how else to put it, but I just think that I totally get it as a parent. I remember back when I was raising kids, um, it was a busy time, and a lot was going on. So you hoped that the school was teaching your kids, and when the times was when I had to go in and deal with whatever it was that they were doing that I didn't agree with, it was usually pretty drastic. I didn't just go in because, they made my kid mind or something. I didn't, for me, I wouldn't have cared. They could have blistered my kid's butt. I didn't care. That if they needed it, so be it. That's discipline. But I, there were things that when I had to go in and I realized that it was the school's failure, that then I started to worry. I can't even imagine being a parent now and worrying about the things that go on, especially with what they have teaching kids in school. Have you seen the teachers? Some of these teachers, I look at them and go, no, nope, you're not having anything to do with my grandkid. There's no way in hell. You got 17 earrings hanging out of your face,
Yeah.
45 tattoos across your chest, all the way up your throat, and you think I mean, they're probably a really good person. They probably really are. But you're talking about first impressions, and you want me to just leave my precious jewel here with you? No. Nope, can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm a very picky person when it comes to my grandkids because we only get, and even my kids, we only get one. It doesn't matter if you have 50. That one that you lose, you don't get to replace him. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
But
So
that now you see why it's a leading question. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to y'all. You see why it's a leading question on government versus because they dictate, and y'all know what I'm putting back.
Hmm.
They dictate safety for your children. Ain't that fucked up?
mhm.
Yep.
And wait till they figure. That's why that I'm investigating that Catholic shooting. Gigi, you brought to me yesterday, because I know who's in charge of security, and it's the school board. I'm just saying. But that's why the first question that I asked y'all was gonna lead to that one. But you can ask them because I don't think they know. I don't think they know who's powerful in this situation. Just like Mouse, we found out about CPS and the DA. You're finding out a lot of people ain't as powerful as you think they are in the government.
Yeah. I mean, wholeheartedly, I'm against like religious based, and I know it's a national right, but I'm against religious based education and healthcare.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a very touchy subject for some people.
yeah, I'm shocked. Why do you believe that? That's just religion. Like you believe it should be separate, and why is it a negative? Why do you think it's
Because
bad?
healthcare is universal. So to me, that's religious segregation. And
Gotcha.
only through EMTALA, when Reagan passed that law, were people not turned away. By federal law, they cannot be turned away for treatment and or an evaluation. So, for example, if you're an atheist or a pagan and there's a Catholic hospital or a Jewish hospital, you would feel uncomfortable going in there. And it's the same as if there was a pagan or an atheist hospital and there was a Catholic or a Baptist or a Muslim or something or someone who's Jewish of that faith, they would probably feel uncomfortable going to that local hospital as well, even if it was a successful trauma center. So um,
Gigi,
healthcare shouldn't discriminate at all. And to me, that's religious discrimination.
in religion, religious schools.
Yeah, in religious schools and religious facilities such as the medical industry and hospitals.
Why is it a negative in your opinion? This is a good one.
It's negative in my opinion because it's indoctrinating children. Faith should be discovered, no matter what your belief. It should not be forced upon a populace.
Are you a constitutionist?
No, my political spectrum is all over the place. You can ask my children.
Okay. That was a
Wait,
good
wait.
conversation.
Don't you teach your children? Do you teach your children your beliefs, Neil?
We teach them all beliefs, so that's been in our family for generations. So you don't teach them Christianity, you don't teach them paganism, you don't teach them Islam. You teach them every single belief in every culture on the face of the planet and let them make a choice.
You're
So my mother was
worldly.
Christian. Yeah, my mother was Christian. My father's pagan. I'm a pagan. I chose it because of family ancestry, of tradition. I'm married to a Christian. Uh, 3 out of our 4 boys are Christians, and they can change their belief at any time. I mean, we did this, and the way that it was taught to me is it does not prohibit free will.
But you don't think that um, your wife's Christianity rubbed off on your 3 sons?
No, no, there is absolutely no anti Semitism
No,
or
but I
anti
mean,
religion.
just no, no, no. I don't mean her anti. I mean her beliefs.
Yeah.
You don't think that what she, because I'm sure they spent most of their days with their mama, and uh, d- so that's where their beliefs would come from. Would be from her because that's a person they were probably with most.
Oh,
I
he's
mean, I'm sure you were
separating.
out
Yeah,
working and doing,
she's hers is influenced by her stepfather's family. They're all Southern Baptist Christians, and great people, absolutely wonderful people. Like they know that I'm a follower of the Old Norse gods, and there's no conflict, there's no discrimination there. They treat me the same as anyone else in the family, and
I,
we respect each other's beliefs.
I got the question. What is religion to you? Forget everything. What does it mean to you before everybody says what it means to them? What is religion to you?
Faith in existence.
There you go. Thank you. See what I'm saying? Before, I always learned that being what, like if you go outside the world, you can't ask if you in is you can't ask them if they're Christian or this or this. You got to ask what do they believe. But religion outside this world is different, so you have to ask them what does that word mean to you. And the base is what he's saying is if you walk through the world gonna tell you what you are. And he said, just don't be influenced by nothing.
Correct.
That's a good. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's called being worldly. You know, he's that dude that'll walk through the world and he don't want to be influenced. He want to find out for himself. You know what I'm saying? If that's a tree, he want to hit it on. He want to make sure that's a tree.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna tell him nothing. He
you
want to
can't
find
call
out.
yourself
Yeah,
worldly
I
if
get it.
you haven't traveled the world.
I get it. I get what he's saying. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Good shit. Different. Good shit.
Okay, I'm a control freak. I shoved it straight down my kid's throat. Here are the
Pause.
things that you will not fucking come home with and you will not do in your life. If you do, remember I brought your ass into this world and I can by all means take your ass out. So here are these strict rules. And we didn't have very many of them, but there were a few. And I will not go into detail because some people don't like my
The funniest
beliefs.
question we
So,
get, TG, is what are our holidays like? Like Christmas.
Yeah.
So, in the ancient belief, it was called Yule, and it lasted 12 days. So it was like 12 days of partying and feasting. And each day was a representation. But I won't get into that whole story. So, and then Angie's a Christian. So people are like, well, how are your holidays? And we're like, they're pretty cool because we combine both of them and we call it Yulemas. So we'll still start off on the winter solstice and then have the big feast on the 24th, which is in common with both Christians and with pagans. So, except
what-
except you get a present every day. If you're from the first day for 12 days, you get 12 presents.
Kind of like Hanukkah.
So what if one of your kids would have
Kinda.
came home and said, "I want to be a Jehovah Witness"? And now, mind you, I got to tell you that Jehovah Witnesses can get very offended by you exchanging gifts and so on and so forth. Celebrating one specific person.
What are
I
we
could go on
talking
for
about?
hours.
I am
'cause
so
I'm
lost.
very close
Yeah,
to the.
there-
Not that I was J.
Do not accidentally knock on their door on Halloween.
Yeah,
The payback was great, but
So I'm just wondering if that would have came up, how would you guys have dealt with that, Niels? I'm just curious about how, because I mean, I wished I could be so open. I wish I could not be
there
so
wouldn't be.
fucking firm in my ways,
Yeah.
but I am.
there wouldn't be a difference. There really wouldn't.
I got two questions after Gigi. I got two.
So if say your son came home and said, "I'm JW, and it's offensive to me that you guys are going to exchange gifts tonight. I really was going to come over and have dinner with you guys and take it that far, but I really didn't want you guys exchanging gifts." How would you guys deal with that? Would you just not exchange gifts, or would you tell him lick leg and sit there and deal with it?
We would just change it to another night or another day.
Wow, I'm such a bitch.
and Titi's rearranging holidays.
I guess you know
and
that's not
shit.
what I
I mean,
do.
honestly,
Titi's
and
already.
I hate ultimatums, but the only two choices would be, okay, you're not getting a gift, or we'll do it, on a better time that's better for everybody.
Okay. My two questions is going to be the one back there. We can ask the chat that question, copying that. The first one, not the second one, the first one up there. The first question for you is going to lead to the second question if you don't want to answer this, because this is going to be this is going to get me where your mind is. Would you ever go to church and sit in church with your wife? And you don't have to answer that question. And the second question is going to be that one up there. But if your wife if it's another religion, would you be just as supportive? That's the question.
Oh,
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah, 100%. She's been to many of our gatherings.
Have you been to hers?
And I've been to. She doesn't go to church, so in the true sense, she's a true Christian. It's to know her is an amazing thing. But I have gone to church with her grandmother and my father-in-law, Yeah, and sat there, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're going to catch fire or something." My friends joking with me, and
Gotcha.
and I'd tell them,
Awesome.
"Hey, I'm not Christian. I'm pagan." And so like, "Oh, okay." And they're not saying you're going to hell. Go give a testimony or anything like that, or trying to force it down my throat. Many of the churches that I've been to, and even in when we were operating in Western North Carolina, most of the places that we set up supply points were at churches because the fellowship halls and stuff had the room inside for the supplies to be kept safe and stuff like that. And when many of them found out we were pagan, they didn't care because it wasn't about religion; it was about people helping people.
Right.
I had to, interviewing somebody is really good. I just needed them to know who you are. And that answer gave them a great understanding of who you are. Oh, good understanding. That's why I got you. Okay.
Yep, about the basics of humanity.
Yep.
We didn't care if you were. We didn't say, "Hey, we're not going to help this family because they're hardcore Christian. They hate pagans." It's, "Hey, what do you need? We will get it for you."
Good shit, dog. Good shit, dude. Good shit.
I think with any religion is that's what it should really come down to. It just shouldn't matter what religion you are. It should just
golden
matter
rule.
if you're willing to
They
help.
and they teach that. They strongly teach. It's in their writings. I'll say that. I'm not going to say in scripture because that just narrows it down to two or three uh, uh, sects of Judaism. But in every single ancient culture in their religious beliefs, it's basically written to be a better, stronger, smarter person than you were the day before. And people forgot that. And I mean, look at the church that got raided by the feds today, by the FBI down in Houston, Texas. I don't know if you heard about that.
Wait, is that a dying cat or a screen door?
No, I know who
No,
that
that's
is.
what's a kitten.
Okay. I was just checking.
He's got me looking. I'm like, oh,
I
she
know.
got one out.
Screen door.
Yeah, yeah, buddy.
Aw.
Everybody looking around. Is that mine?
exactly like that.
Niels, you had everybody looking around. Is that mine?
Yeah, he wants more of them.
Everybody looking. Pause. Neil had everybody looking for the
beautiful
coochie. Neil's had everybody looking for the kitty. I'm dead.
Well, he wasn't saying anything. Nobody was saying anything. I'm like, it must be mine.
Shut him up, I'm sure. Come on, shut up.
One of the charge one of the charge nurses I worked with was a minister at a Pentecostal church his way. And we used to joke with each other every time we came in on shift. And he's like, slaughter any goats today, sacrifice any goats. And I was like, did you hit your knees at the altar and pray for making fun of pagans? And I mean, we could go back and forth and stuff like that every single shift, man. He's a great person though.
My aunt was how I was so close to the Jehovah Witness religion was my aunt, who I was very close with, my mom's sister, and her husband were Jehovah Witness, which came from her husband's family, and her mother-in-law and her mother-in-law's sister, they used to be the door knockers, and so they would go door to door knocking on doors, doing their Jehovah Witness thing, and witnessing is what they call it.
Mhm.
And so my Aunt Punky is also the one that taught me, this Jehovah Witness, is also the one that taught me how to make like a beanbag family. And
What?
that's
Hold up.
when
Wait.
a
Hold
Jehovah
up.
Witness
What?
comes to your door and everybody in the
What?
house just flops on the floor and goes like completely limp and still and doesn't move until the knock goes away.
That sounds like when the cops come to my door. I do the same thing when the police knock at my door. I just stay still.
Don't pull that
kids up.
person up, Mouse. FF.
No. I put that up.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
you're in the house trying to porn bomb me.
Look at that. I'm trying to help.
I took the kids trick or treating one year, and we accidentally knocked on a house that was having Jehovah Witness church, like church.
I wanted to show you that picture real quick because that's my buddy. He's actually the godfather of my children too. He's my
Oh, sorry.
closest friend in America. Like we became friends right off the bat. Old black family from Charleston, South Carolina, one of the oldest families there. and he works for Boeing down there. His name's Brian, and he's my brother basically. And his parents were Jehovah's Witness, and they took him to the temple a few times. He got kicked out because he lit up a joint in the parking lot. And apparently, that's a huge no-no.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. That went way past
But
music and makeup.
yeah, his parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're the greatest, some of the greatest human beings on earth.
Oh yeah. I mean, my Aunt Punky, you couldn't have asked for a better person. I'm not kidding you one little bit. Best person in the whole world. Um, in my whole life. She's she taught me so much. And so, yeah, but that was one of the things. I mean, to go on to that story, she actually, I wasn't, I wasn't at this gathering, but my aunt, my grandma, which was her mom, and
Hmm.
then her two daughters were all at her house one day, and her mother-in-law, the Jehovah Witness door knocker, come knocking at the door with her sister. And normally my Aunt Punky's doors were wide open. They were never locked, never closed. The screen door was the only thing that was closed, and you just went in her house. Didn't matter who you were. Well, when when her mother-in-law would show up, she locked the door on this specific day. And then before they got to around, they lived in a double wide trailer. And before they got around to the other side of the door to lock the glass sliding door and pull the window or pull the blinds, her mother in law was standing there looking at her while my aunt, my grandmother, who was probably 70, and my two cousins were crawling around on the floor.
Like Mission Impossible or something.
Oh my God, the funniest shit. I mean, it took my Aunt Punky to tell you this, but it was the funniest thing. I mean, just to visualize two older women crawling around on the floor with these two teenage girls. Oh my God. So, yeah, she taught us well.
A fun trick my grandfather used to do during supper is if like company showed up, he'd tell everybody grab a toothpick and go to the front porch and get in a chair, and we'd all be out there sitting. So by the time the person made it out of their vehicle, they saw us doing that. They're like, "Oh, you guys already ate," so they wouldn't stay long. And I always admired that. That man was so witty.
Huh, never thought about
Yep.
doing that. Oh my God, I have a new trick.
My husband, when I first met Marv, we used to we would go to one of his friends' house, and they'd always, when we'd walk in, they'd go, "Wow, look at the time," and it would be like noon or 5 o'clock. I'm not shitting you. And I never. It took me probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 friends of stopping by their house and them making the same comment, and it was different friends too. And they would say, "Well, it's finally they come clean and said, hey." Marv always shows up at 5 o'clock. We know because it's dinner time then. I'm like, oh, you're such a dick. We're never going again to their house. We're never going to those houses around dinner time or lunchtime ever again.
If we had an annoying neighbor come over, Dad would either kick the heat up in the middle of the summer, or he'd go out to the garage and he'd grab a shovel and some rope and stuff and bring it inside. And my mother, ask, "Hey, what are you doing?" He'd say, "I got to go bury this body real quick." And they'll look at the neighbor and say, "If you want to help, if you got some free time, if not, I got to ask you to leave." So, and me and my brother used to joke, people would think my father's a serial killer.
That is really funny because when Marvin, when my daughter was dating this boy that neither of us could stand, he came, my daughter was of age at this point, and they decided to go with us to Idaho for Christmas. And he took his little low riding Volkswagen Jetta piece of shit car that could barely go over gravel, let alone anything that would have anything to do with a snowball. We told him, you got to make sure you take chains. So he takes chains, but as we get to my mother-in-law's road that you have to go to before you get to her driveway, it's not that far. It's like an eighth of a mile to her driveway from the highway. But his car wouldn't make it up the road because it was a Jetta and it was laying on the ground. And so we told him he was going to have to put his chains on. He goes, I just got the chains. They won't fit my car. That'll tear up my fenders. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, my God. So needless to say, I drove his car up that road. He was not happy. In fact, it started going it started sliding back down the hill, and he was all freaked out. So the dumb shit stood behind the car that I was in trying to get to go forward as it's sliding down the hill. I'm like, you're an idiot. This kid, if we get him home alone, get him back home alive, we'll be lucky. Well, anyways, the trip goes on. A few days later, they all went up on the hill hiking, and it was my husband, my brother-in-law, and a couple, or my two boys, and then my two boys' friend and my daughter's boyfriend. And as they're walking, they got a rifle in their hand. They're carrying a rifle. And as they're going up the hill, there's all these rock piles. And Marv says to his brother-in-law, remember that kid? And my brother-in-law's like, yeah, I remember that one. He dated your sister, and he didn't shake your dad's hand right, and blah, 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 blah. And so, they keep walking. Well, previously at one of the dinners, I think it was Christmas dinner, he would not wait until we said grace before he just picked up a roll and started eating it. A huge taboo in my in-laws' house. So as they keep walking up the hill, Marvin said, you remember that guy? And my brother-in-law said, yeah, that's the one that didn't say grace before he grabbed the roll. These are all piles of rocks as they're going up the road. And this kid's seeing them, and he's hearing them. He's walking ahead of them with the rest of the kids, but he can hear what they're saying. Well, I'm telling you what, everything that kid did wrong was talked about as they walked up this road, all these piles of rocks. That kid, when he got back down, by the time he got back down off that hillside, his face was pure white. I think he was ready to leave then, but he couldn't. He was kind of stuck there. Poor kid.
He's going to be traumatized for life.
When Marvin told me what they did, I was like, you did not. He's like, yes, we did.
That kid's probably on so many medications by now.
Right. Well, I think when we got home, I think he promptly broke up with my daughter.
Probably for the best.
It was definitely for the best.
I bet he calls your house Ruby Ridge.
He probably does. He probably does. I think we scared him for certain. He was also the kid that he would go work out. Oh, gosh. Marvin walked out. This was out, I think it was literally after Christmas dinner. And he is out throwing these great big skidder tires around. And he's just picking them up and throwing them. And like they're all stacked against the shop. And he's picking these tires up and throwing them. Marv's like, what the hell are you doing, Brandon? I'm getting my workout in. Marvin said, doing what? He said, well, I'm throwing these tires around. Marvin said, I got a bunch of fence posts that need to be moved up there to that barn. Why don't you do that? Well, that's not really a good enough workout. Marvin's like, it'll be a good enough workout. He put about 7 of those fence posts, and they're really heavy. He put about 7 of them. That kid's arms made him walk them up there. I mean, one right after another. Yeah,
Functional exercises. Just doing chores, man. That's exercise in and of itself.
Throwing the skidder tires around, you dummy.
So, Mouse, what trick did your son pull on you after your nap? Airbag wants me to ask you.
How does everybody remember that? Why is that what he remembers? I was sitting there watching TV, and I nodded off. I didn't mean to fall asleep, but I nodded off. And when I woke up, I couldn't tell what time it was. I thought it was the next morning. And so I grab a clock, and it says 5 o'clock. And because I think it's morning, I assume it's a.m. And my husband is nowhere around. My son's standing there going, "Are you okay? Like, you haven't ate in 3 days, Mom. You've been asleep a long time." He's really feeding into this shit. So I'm thinking I have slept all night, on into the morning. My husband is either didn't come home or he left extra early. Like it's 5 o'clock in the morning to my brain. He leaves me going like this for 3 hours. I'm flipping out trying to put my day together. I had been asleep an hour. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Angie did that one time. She took a nap and she woke up at 7. She didn't mean to sleep that long, and she thought she woke up the next morning. The kids were in middle school then, and she woke up and she was freaking out. She was like, "Oh my gosh, they're late for school!" And so she
Yep.
went to the friends, started yelling at them, and get dressed and stuff like that. And the oldest came in the room. He said, "Dad, Mom's tripping. What should I do?" I said, "Just go with it. Let her do it.
Go with it.
Just let her do it."
See,
So
that's why they do.
they grabbed their stuff and they were trying to tell her mom it's not, and she's like, "Shut up, you're going to be late for school." So she drove them to the school. When she got back to the house, the kids were laughing, and she's so mad at me. She said, "Why didn't you say something?" I said, "You were committed.
Yeah, I was too.
You were
It's
already
true.
committed. I learned a long time ago. Don't when you're that committed, don't stop you. Don't intervene." And Angie was pissed off at me for 2 days after that.
It was just the way my son just instantly picked up my dismay and played on it. He's like, "Mom, you haven't even ate in 3 days," and I believed him, which screwed me up even more. I'm like, 3 days. I've been asleep 3 days. Oh my god.
No wonder I'm so hungry. I, f- I feel like I could eat the ass out of a cow right now. Golly.
I bought it. I thought maybe I fell asleep, no hunger. I stayed asleep. I mean, he had me believing it. I had only been asleep a freaking hour, one damn hour, and I had done thrown the week in dismay. And my husband left early, and I was mad. What the fuck is he gone at 5 o'clock in the morning?
What woman is he seeing?
Where the fuck is he?
So when I
He's
got back
fixing
from
that
Haiti,
bitch's car. I just know it.
when I got back from Haiti, and we were working like 30, 40 hour shifts, 10-minute naps, and 5 hours of sleep in between shifts. So when I rotated back to the United States and I made it home, I knew I was going to be tired and I was going to sleep a long time. So when I finally went to bed and then I woke up, I just asked Angie, I said, "What day is it?" Because I slept 26 and a half hours. So I was just like, "Yeah, what day is it?" And that's the longest I've ever slept in my life.
Wow.
It screwed me all up too.
It does. When you think you've slept for hours, like you have slept through a day or you have slept through dinner, or it mess with you.
Yeah.
I always hate waking up late.
Went
That is
to
like the worst.
went to sleep on a Monday night and woke up Wednesday morning.
Wow. Dang.
Yes, literally lost an entire day. It really messed with me.
You can't get that back.
You can't. You don't know
It's
where it went
gone.
either. Like
I mean,
it
it
was
doesn't matter if
stolen.
you're awake for the next 24 hours and run your ass off the whole time. You cannot get that entire time back. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty wild. What I hate the most is on your day off. This is how you know you're programmed. On your day off from work, you still wake up at the same time. You wake up later and you're like, "Shit, I'm late."
Hmm.
And then by the time you get ready, you realize, "Oh, it's my day off."
Yeah, and
What
you
makes
can't
me
go
mad
back
is
to
I
the
always
point
get
where you're laying in bed. Like,
Yeah. And
I
then you
always
can't go back to
hate
sleep and you're like, "Damn it."
I always hate that the days that I don't set an alarm, I wake up early.
yeah.
The days that I have an alarm set, oh, I could have slept till shit 9. But I have to get up because the
Yeah,
alarm went off. And
oh my gosh. So I'm normally up at 5 o'clock every morning. It doesn't matter if I'm on a stream till 2, 3 o'clock. I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up. What I hate is when, like you said, you set that alarm for 5, 6 a.m. and you wake up at like 3:30 or 4.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, you've got like an hour. It's not worth going back to bed. You got to stay up. Now you spend the whole day going, "I got up too early."
yes. Oh, it about kills me when I do that. Oh, Yeah, don't deal well with it. What else? There was something else I was going to tell you guys about, and I forgot all about what it was. Oh, I know what it was. Has anybody heard about the AI cameras that the cops are using nowadays?
Mouse.
Army vet, would you like to take this one?
The
Somehow
first
I knew you two would have heard about it.
they started using it confirmed during the LA outbreak. If you go back then, that's when they start putting the cameras in the cops' AI. So instead of breaking the law, that's where the military came in, and that's why the military is in D.C. because that was the practice area. And I was telling Mouse behind the scenes, like, Mouse, you see what they're doing, right? And she was like, what? Now, social media and public TV has become AI because now all they need to do is get your face on TV. And now the same tech they used in January the 6th, they have moved it to public TV. So if they just see your face on TV, now you're captured on the military, FBI, and CIA
Facial recognition.
special. This is the same reason why they caught the New Orleans the same tech. They use instead of that, they use the traffic light signals, and they got their face, pinned it. They use the same thing on the highway to get. Yeah, that's what they're using, and that's why they call it the Patriot Act Part 2, GG, which you finna freak out about. But yeah, it's called Patriot Act Part 2.
Well, especially when two kids just died. Well, where was their AI cameras then? How come they didn't follow that little tranny to that
Pause.
Catholic school? It was a tranny. I'm telling you,
Pause.
those people, that needs to be dealt with. That is a mental issue, and those people need to be dealt with because they are causing mass death and chaos and injury and I don't know how much other shit. But that needs to be dealt with. You are not in your right mind if you think you need to whack off your penis or grow a hoo-ha. Just saying.
Well, it's not the world's fault, I can tell you that.
Cook,
Exactly.
Gigi, cook. Cook. That's you. Go on, cuz. It's you. It's your show. Cook.
I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that it's normal thinking. I know somebody specifically that was absolutely normal, and then the school and the whole education system started shoving it down his throat, and then he decided he wanted to be a girl. He then went on to have 4 kids, and now has decided, I don't want to be a woman. Oh, but now the kids have to live with all this. The oldest kid was kicked out of school in 1st grade. I can't imagine that his tranny daddy had anything to do with that. That whole scenario.
Mouse, you got to pull it back. You got to pull it back. 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 Pull it back.
I know. I have to agree.
I know, crazy. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
Dave.
I got to put.
I don't think that it means that I wish no harm on those people. I just think that they need mental help. They need mental help. They can't keep going on like that. We're paying the price.
Our kids are not interchangeable accessories.
Yeah.
They're not toys that way. We can't change what they are. Don't tell them we can. Mm-hmm. We ain't Mr. Potato Heads up in here.
I went back to the private contractor. I need a picture that say no comment. I gotta go make one right quick.
Army vet.
That's part of the problem of staying quiet and not being honest about what we believe. Remember, we were all stifled. We couldn't say anything. Oh, you can't say nothing. You're going to offend these people. Oh, no, heaven forbid. And look where we're at. Because we didn't say anything. We need to stand up and we need to say something. This has got to be addressed.
Well,
people are paying the price for somebody to be mental like that. That's
I
not fair. And not just the
Right.
person that's going through it.
I agree. Well, no.
The
I
people around them that are going to suffer when they, what do they call it? Crash out, pop off, lose their shit.
I think this is a side effect of our culture and what's going on. That's why I'm trying to ease it away. But when that young dude took a shot at the president, me and Mouse did come out and tell y'all, we don't think this is going to happen, but we think this is a signal of our youth being more violent. We were the only two that said that about our youth, and you see what's happening. That's why, but what Gigi is saying is her, but I think that if you start with young men, I think they're doing it worse than I think our young children are out of whack. I agree. Yeah, right back, but it's not freedom of speech. It's almost like when me and Mouse was talking about a soldier that's in Washington D.C. You can only say so much and do so much because you're confined by your job. Yeah, you're confined.
But
Yeah.
that's bullshit. You
I
shouldn't
know.
be confined by your job, by your
I
government, any
know.
of that. You should be able to say exactly how you see it. Especially when people are not trying to just be malicious. There is a serious problem and it needs to be dealt with. It's not about whether we like or don't like somebody. This is about people's lives. There is an 8-year-old little boy and was it a little girl that was 10 that died from from the hands of this transvestite.
Pause.
It it was. They've already said that he was a transvestite. So YouTube can like it or not like it. People can like it or not like it, but facts are facts, and that's just the way it is. And this has got to be dealt with. First of all, you know what? Beyond the victims, can you imagine being that person inside that
Oh,
body that says you think you need to be something else, and you're never gonna be? The turmoil that's inside of you, that's what needs to be addressed
And agreeing with your offness is not helping.
at all. It's making it worse.
I think it reinforces, yeah, your crazy beliefs are okay. Go with them.
And then to get me started on the whole victims, you know what? It takes the mental person. Now you lost mental person because now you took somebody else's life, and at that you took a child's life, 2 of them. And I don't know, you injured a bunch of them, I think, as well.
Right. And at this point, I no longer want to hear your plea.
Nope.
Now I don't care how you feel. You didn't.
So when we go back to the whole police have the AI cameras and la 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 la, where were those AI cameras? Remember, these AI cameras are going to take our freedoms. So you and I, they're going to start questioning everything you do. You're going to go to the dollar store, and then you're going to run over to the Target, and then you're going to run to Home Depot, and then you're going to, I don't know, now you're going to the dump. Oh, well, what'd you do that for? Did you get duct tape? And what do you got? Bags? And what's in there? Did you put the things that they are going to start thinking that you're doing if they start following you, because they're going to take away your freedoms because they're trying to keep you safe. Yet little Joe Tranny was able to go to a Catholic church and kill people.
Yeah. A church, that one place that you're supposed to be safe.
I haven't studied the story. I don't know what Mouse was discussing it to me, and we were discussing the definition of soft target and terrorism. I told her, she was like, yes, a church like that is a soft target, which that's why it was very interesting how now Niels put, he don't believe in that. and how it played into the subject that we wrote into like church and government and local and who's protecting the schools. But
Yeah, don't get me
I've
started on the
I've
sheriff's department rant.
I told Mouse this, and this probably will help you. AI cannot prevent, but AI can tell you it can work backwards because it records everything. It doesn't prevent nothing. It records everything.
So again, it's just a cleanup thing.
Pretty much,
Like cops.
like you said yesterday, Gigi. Exactly what you said yesterday.
The easy investigative tool.
No, the crime already committed. They'll
Yeah,
just
they ain't saving nobody.
that exactly what Gigi said yesterday. Exactly.
Yeah,
You can't prevent it.
remember, we hold these people at the highest level. We call them heroes. And I know there are cops out there that would put their lives on the line. I do know that. I do know some of those. But when you talk about the majority, that's not the case. They won't. Remember, let's not forget when they all hid outside the school while the kids
Sheriff's
got shot
Department.
up. Let's not forget that. Because whether we like it or not, no matter how far down the road it gets, that happened. And they did nothing.
Exactly.
What did they do? They went up and they got the brooms and the mops. They did cleanup. Oh, they didn't even do that great a job. Let's forget they didn't do that part. They just grabbed the bodies and went.
Now, I can't
Boy,
scream this enough.
Ooh, it's tough over here.
When
boy.
all these school shootings started, they started putting in resource officers at the school, which was great. That's what we wanted. We wanted an officer nearby. I mean, come on. We're protecting our money in a bank better than our children in a school? Like, what are our priorities? So we installed the sheriff's department to be our resource officers at school. Okay, they've got a gun and a badge, but let's look at their training. They have zero training. They have no trauma training. They have no Red Cross training. They have no mental training. They can't negotiate. They can't do anything but wait for backup. That's what they're trained to do. So by implementing the sheriff's department into our resource officers, we did absolutely nothing.
Well, I wished I agree. Because I see them training all the time. They go out here. And I'm not
Cops.
kidding you. They're training
Yeah.
all the time. Here's the problem, though. You can give, it's that horse to the water thing. You can give them all the training that you want. But if they have been given immunity,
That's true
no
too.
training in the world
Understand
is
what
going
it
to
takes
kick
to
in.
understand what it takes to be just a city cop. You know, you have to go through the academy, you have gun training, you have all these trainings for all these situations just to be a city cop. A sheriff's department never has any of that. It's a GED and a gun permit. So we are sending our most least experienced officers, branch, to do a job they are not trained to do. They're not gonna do the job again when it happens again. They're trained to pull back and wait for backup, and that would be city police, FBI, state trooper. We did no good putting sheriff's department on resource officers. It was stupid.
Yeah, I just think that it's, like I said, I think that they have tons of excuses for why they can't do their job right, except for the one that actually matters, which is just do your fucking job right. You got one job, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I think, and I believe that it's because they have that umbrella of safety net. And as long as they have that, whether they are a cop or a doctor or a politician, that we're screwed. We got to stop giving immunity to these guys. Nobody should get immunity. Everybody should have to be held accountable. That's all there is to it.
I think, we've got all these veterans coming home with no jobs because, they've been serving and their jobs have been filled. So they come home with all this training that we need for protecting our children, and we swoop right by those unemployed people and ask the lame sheriff department to protect our kids, knowing they're not trained to.
Media done squashed that, Mouse. Now they have. I've always said that there's conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. I've always said I think there's a conspiracy going on right now between what Gigi is really saying. I'm still investigating it, but it is a war between AI and local police. And I believe that the federal government is probably going to slash local police because what Gigi said, they're more reactive than preventive. Not all, not all, not all, but detectives, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a big,
Yeah.
and I think what you're saying probably would be true, but in the media, how, me and you know this, they don't. How many have we seen veterans going into the woods hiding and been taken
A
They're
lot recently.
recently? Thank you.
We've
That's
got
what-
one
There you
still
go.
in the woods recently, maybe. There has been an update on that, but we're waiting.
Is he really there? I don't think I'm telling you straight
There
up.
have been some things found in the woods. Let's let forensics do their thing. They're checking bones. They think it's him. So we're waiting on the DNA to come back on the bones to see if it
Wait,
was
he's
him.
become bones already?
I know. I thought the same thing, but he's been out there quite a while. No, we're talking about the Travis Decker.
Yes,
Let me
I know
look
exactly
again.
what you're talking
Let-
about. I don't
because-
believe. I'm going to say straight up. I don't think he did it.
How do we not? How do we know it's not somebody else he ran into out there?
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
You know what I
hold up.
mean? Until
He
we
didn't
get the.
seem like a man that would take out his kids.
Hold up, hold up, hold up.
He did.
Hold up. Whoo, shit.
In fact,
Go by the evidence first. What do we know for sure? And start
we know
what
that
Gigi
he
said.
was having.
Gigi is saying she know what the evidence saying, but she's saying she don't believe he could do it. Prove to her you think he could do it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I can't do that. Now, because where I'm at is, how do I know he didn't come across another unsuspecting person in the woods running through? So I'm going to wait on the forensics to come back because I don't think it's him either. It could be anybody.
Let me look. I don't know.
And,
I don't
you know, again, how do we know that this pile of, you know, these bone fragments wasn't another victim he come across we were unaware of?
I just don't think he did it. And especially when they said how they found the girls.
Well,
Do you really think that that mother would have
Pause.
sent her kids with him? And I don't give a shit what law bound her to. If she thought that he was that type of person in any way, shape, or form.
I question, honestly, I question why she sent the girls myself, Gigi. She knew enough that she had already told the judge what his issues were. She knew he was homeless, but somehow agreeing to go camping at a campsite was stable enough for her to let the girls go. It's weird to me. I don't know. I can't answer that.
Well, I don't think that homeless
Welcome
makes
in,
you
Mr.
a
Duggan.
murderer,
Welcome
though. Especially
No,
of your
but-
own children.
Do you? It shows the instability. Like your kids don't have a room over at their dad's.
okay. I got Mr. Duggar. How you doing?
I'm not
Mr.
saying it's
Duggar?
bad, but I'm not saying I'm going to send my kids off to be homeless for the weekend just because he is.
I got two informations. I just got to make sure everything is
Hey,
true.
Mr. Duggar.
If he was military, I'm finna find out right now. If he was what I think he is, because I think Mouse, if it's still in that back room, I put all the information in CPS and everything.
Wasn't he like Navy SEAL or something? Like,
If
he
that-
was like
if-
special force.
if that's right, I'm sure Mr. Doug will tell you in the Rangers, if you have bodies that close and you want to eliminate them without the others knowing, that's exactly how you do it. And if I'm right, and Mouse and Mr. Doug, you can say this, Mr. Right before he had the children, he had a episode he had called the the hotline. He called the emergency hotline, and saying he was having suicidal thoughts, and they rushed him into the emergency room, and they didn't help him, and the next day he got his kids. I'm finna go research. Y'all take
Yeah,
it
and
from
so
here.
there's still a question on why wasn't the mother notified, of the call and the issue. That we don't know. Did she even know he was? She may not even know that he was breaking down. But I still question, if he was homeless and unstable, why was, quote, camping at the campsite? Why did that feel stable enough to send the girls to for the weekend? Like, he is unstable.
But that's not the question. Now ask the panel, if you had a veteran that was a ranger in the 75th Battalion suffering from PTSD, called in the 911 veteran hotline to say he had thoughts. They rushed him into the emergency room. He said, "Y'all are not helping me." He walked out, and he got his kids the next day. Do you think this could happen? Now that's the question for them.
I don't understand how it could happen. First off, my ex, who I hated with all my heart at one time, but now I've learned to tolerate her and love her again as the mother of my child. She's not the smartest woman in the world, but she damn sure knew what was going on with me. And she would never have let her kids go with me if I was in that kind of shape, homeless and that kind of stuff. So you got to look back on the mom. What was the mom thinking? Was she complying to court issue?
I agree.
Who
That's
knows?
where I'm at with it. That's kind of
I all I know is you can say whatever you want to about my ex. She's the best mother I could have chose for my kid. She was very protective, and she knew that I only wanted the best things for the kids. So that's how we regained trust.
right.
But if I'd have walked to her and said, "Oh, I'm homeless and I feel like killing myself," but other than that, I want the kids for the weekend. I'm going to take them camping. Do you think she'd have let them kids go? Hell no, she wouldn't have. So, I don't know if it was lost in court or lack of communication between the two parents or the government identities that were involved in their split and who gets kids when and all that. It just seemed somewhere along the line it was lost in translation that this guy was asking and begging for help because he didn't want to off himself.
Right.
I mean, how does that not come into play in the designation of where these kids are at? That's crazy.
And how come he becomes the big evil person, yet the government, who completely dropped the ball, isn't at all held accountable? Here we go again on holding the government accountable for where they fucked up. I'm sorry, but if he said he was suicidal, why wouldn't they have dealt with that right then? That should have immediately been a call to the mother saying, "Yep, they're not going there the next time they're supposed to go there." And why wasn't he put where he could, they could help him?
I know,
Explain to
because
us.
there's a mystery government that everybody know about, and sooner or later it's going to happen. In that missing child's case, it's going to come out. The reason that nobody knew about it is called CPS. They are not allowed to have his medical records.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
As a father of the children,
Mr. Doug, help out.
CPS.
VA is different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
wormhole, a rabbit hole
All
that
right.
that we
That's
could
fair.
go
That's
down
fair. I see.
and both of us could say, "Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, you're right."
Yep.
But I'm just gonna tell you
Well,
right off, trying to pull
they can have
records
access to
out of
medical
the Veterans
records.
Administration
But yeah, I can
with a
see where the
Euro.
VA, they would give them problems, probably. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
well,
that.
I don't care if you're a regular person or an official trying to get something out of the VA pre-Trump. They're you know, it just wasn't going to happen because they didn't want anybody to know anything, especially when it comes into kids. They were all about making kids disappear, not finding one. You know, so I mean, you got hundreds of thousands of children out there, and you expect them to give the information just to find one of them. Come on,
Right.
Well,
you know. I
to
mean,
this case, though, I think that it's quite, as I read through the case, one of the biggest things I'll tell you that made me say, they're just trying to tag this dude. They're just trying to put this off on him. And this is the one thing that I'm going to say that made me go, red flags all over. The officials said there's a bloody handprint located on the tailgate of Decker's vehicle, which was discovered near the girl's body. Also matched the father's DNA profile. So his blood was on his rig with his handprint near his dead daughter's, but you think he did it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's
Put that
his DNA.
Gigi, put that information in the private chat. I can give you an answer. Privately, I can give you an
let me.
answer.
I just jumped in here. I don't really know the full length of this story.
Me either.
So,
I'm
you know,
still
anything
learning.
I could say, you know, it's not going to be validated because I have no really clue who y'all are talking about. I can only
Travis
go along
Decker.
about, you know, line issues. Yeah.
Travis Decker. He is the gentleman that took his 3 girls and then they found them deceased and they can't find him. They don't. There's theories now. Is he dead in the woods? Is he gone? Did he make it to Canada? You know, all these things.
Well, if he's a ranger, he's going to be a hard son of a bitch to catch if he's in the woods.
That's exactly.
That's
the
what
problem.
I told Mouse. I was like, he's from the 75th Battalion.
But they've been all over. They've been at one end of the Pacific Northwest all the way to the other end of it, going, we think he's over here. Oh, we think he's over here.
You can't find him.
They
That's
had
their
no
job.
idea. And what about those AI cameras that are everywhere? So are
But
you
he's
telling
Well,
me
you
not
got
going to be
Sasquatch.
dancing out in the woods
and
in
never
a bright
gave-
orange
to this- we
jumpsuit.
can't all talk at once.
Sorry.
Are you telling me that he just traveled it through the woods and never went through cities?
Mouse got all my information. I gave it to her. She got it. That's all I'm going to say.
Who knows what he loaded up or what kind of blowout bag he took with him? You know what I mean?
They don't know about that part. You have to explain. That's what I was explaining to Mouse. His job.
Any guy worth his salt has a runaway bag. If something shit hits the fan, they got a bag of guns. They got a bag of tools to keep themselves going with some food, extra food, and a bug out bag is what it's called. I mean, everybody has a bug out bag, don't they? I do, because you never know, you know, when some kind of emergency is going to hit. You know, that guy right there, he couldn't kill his kids.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You can look at that
don't
guy; he
believe
wouldn't hit
did
his
it.
kids.
Well, and that was,
Oh
you
my
know, they
God.
did leave room for what if they were
I can't
all
watch this.
attacked, right? What
Well,
if
the thing
somebody
about
else
it is
came
that-
in on all 3
Do
of them?
this story.
But when they ran the forensics on the girls, there is absolutely no other fingerprints on the ties, on the bags, on the girls, other than Decker's, and Decker's alone.
Now you see why I couldn't do this story. I just can't do this. I can't do these stories no more, man. That's why I gave him the Mouse.
know.
Mouse got all my background. This is too sick.
I know that killed a lot of my theories knowing that bit of information when it came out just the other day. You know, I'm thinking, you know, there's still possibility somebody came in and did them all, you know, or dragged him up. We don't know. It's the woods, you know. But no, when that beat came out that the only fingerprints and DNA associated with the crime scene was only his.
Well, you
As
never
far as
know.
the girls.
Him saying wanting to commit suicide also leads me to believe, you know, maybe he could have done it, because anybody that would contemplate and, you know, offing
Yeah,
herself that has a mental problem to begin with.
yeah, in their eyes, they can't leave their kids behind, so they handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
My
He was
my
11. He
kid,
was an
I,
11
I just
Bravo.
know if we treat her right.
He was an 11 Bravo, Mr. Decker. He was a sergeant in the Ranger Battalion. So you add just being unique as a Bravo. Then you add on top, he was an NCO over in Afghanistan as a Ranger. Then he's coming back here with PTS episodes. Then he have one, call them people, go in, run out of the mental place saying y'all can't help me, and then he get his kids and they can't find him. They don't understand how unique of a human being an 11 Bravo Ranger is. That's why I was like, I would love to do it, but I need military to how unique of a human being this dude is. How if he don't want to be found, he's not going to be found.
I wish I'd have been here earlier, got the beginning of the talk. I do have to go. I just want to stop in and say hi to Gigi and you and panel in the chat. Thank y'all for hanging out with my girlfriend here and taking care of her and being happy with her and discussing stuff. I've got barbecue to cook. I love you, Gigi. Oh, we throwing down like clowns today. We're lighting up 6 briskets, about 60 chickens, and about 50 pounds of sausage.
Man, that sounds good.
And I'm gonna cook probably about 40 packs of ribs. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me here. I got to go do tater salad here. Tater salad. But I've got a couple other things I've got to go do. So
Well, you
thank
got me
y'all.
a good wife for the day, Mr. Duggar. It was really
Wife,
good to
hell,
see you.
I cook better than any goddamn woman. I got your wife. I can prove that's a mysterious falsehood right there. I can cook better than any woman I'd ever met. Except maybe grandma. And she was a chef. So
right.
All right, y'all take care of your little bitty selves. I'm gonna slide out here. Thanks for letting me come up a little bit here, Gigi.
All right.
Of course, always, Mr. Duggar. You have
All
a
right,
great
baby
evening,
girl. You have a
afternoon.
wonderful day.
Drink lots of water.
I am drinking a lot of beer today. Today's a beer day. I've had my fill of water.
Yeah, you drink.
I got shade, and you know what? A fat boy knows how to survive. I don't need him warnings. I'll be 66 this month in September, so I've led a life of surviving. Trust me. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope God's blessings fall on all of your houses, and I wish y'all nothing but the truest form of happiness. Y'all be wonderful. Mr. Duggar loves everybody. Y'all take care of your little bitty selves.
Thank you, Mr. Duggar.
Mr. Duggar.
Now he just we're
in and out.
He's the one up in he's the one out west, too far from me to go rob his grill. It's not fair. I ain't trekking through that part. I ain't trekking through that part of the desert over chicken. Nope.
Well, I suppose we are at 2 hours. And I'm going to go do this again tonight and discuss, what are we discussing tonight? Mysterious areas.
Oh.
Have you researched it?
I have not done tons of research, but Baker and Fools have done all the research on it, so I let them go with this one because Baker has some kind of an app where he can see like locations that just not the normal person I think can see. So I let them kind of handle it this time, and I'm going to be as surprised as everybody else. We're going to try to make things fun, and I don't want it to. We don't want it to be come to school on Friday night. Nobody wants to go to school on Friday night. They just want to learn.
Now we want to get drunk and hang out at the creepy spots. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I figured this whole creepy thing would be great.
That sounds
You be
fun.
scared. I come in, you scare the shit out of me. I'm in New Orleans with these You scared the shit out of me,
Oh,
GG.
we could really do
See,
some
you wouldn't
cool
have been
shit
able to
in New
hang with
Orleans.
us as kids, Army, that we hung out in the cemetery. It was the only place in the neighborhood to hide.
I don't know what's wrong with y'all women. But, hey, Mouse, I'm going to my work. I'm finna work on this damn Jehovah Witness on a gummy song. I think it's a hit. I think it's gonna be a
That'll be
hit.
funny.
I
gonna be
think
good.
it's gonna be a hit. I'm gonna need your help.
I'm
Okay.
gonna. If I ever went to New Orleans, the first place I'd want to go is a cemetery.
New Orleans is creepy.
Oh,
Get
bye,
with me,
Avy.
AV. You know where
Thanks
to
for
find
coming
me.
Yeah, I think it would be super cool to check out the cemetery in New Orleans.
I
bet it would
do.
be cool.
I do too.
Yep. And then, of course, I would like that, whatever that street is. Is it Bourbon Street? I don't know what street it is. But that street where the girls get all the beads. Of
Oh
course,
yeah,
I'd
a
need to
Mardi
go
Gras. We're
there.
gonna do that. Like I think it's like late February, early
Is
March.
that when it is?
Yeah.
Why is that so, like, the nipples
That's
are
when
hard
Mardi.
and
That's when Mardi Gras is, and all the bands are out, and the bars are on the street.
is it warm
literally.
then?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because I was going to say, is that why they do it in February? Because it's cold and
No, that was
everything will
tradition.
be
It's
perky?
it's actually a French holiday. Mardi Gras stands for Fat Tuesday, and when you look it up, it's basically just a festival to have a festival. There is like no thing they are celebrating. It's just to celebrate.
Mr. Duggar said, Biatch, we got ribs and brisket, not chicken.
Yeah, but you need to watch the chicken if I sneak up through the desert. Keep an eye on that chicken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is going to be some good eating. I am not going camping this weekend, as much as I hate to say that. I will probably drive up and see the kids one day this weekend, but we're not taking the RV out this weekend. Marvin didn't get Saturday off, so that kind of screwed us. So, but he's going to be taking some time off because as my oldest son gets closer to being on the slow time of the year where he's not working as much, we will be taking some camping trips because I won't be obligated to the grandson right then. So,
Ah, cool.
Awesome.
and I can't wait. And I'll get to use my GoPro a whole bunch then.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm going to start getting some videos out. I know I say that and don't get it done, but real life steps in the way. And
You just slapped it on the post wall.
right?
Well, I'm going to jump down for the day.
Yes, thank you for coming up, Niels.
Nils, it was good to see you. You guys take care. Tell Angie we said hello.
I will do. And thanks for having me.
Of course, always.
And most importantly, everybody have an awesome weekend.
Yes, you too. Everybody stay safe.
Yes.
Have fun.
All right. Skull.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. And y'all know how to sub up to Niels and make sure you do. Hustle with heart. And also Mouse. Thank you, Mouse. Make sure you sub up to Mouse, AV, Mr. Duggar. Y'all know how to get to the link. So everybody, I think does. So, yeah. And thank you so much for being here. You know the deal. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Thanks bunches, and we will see you tonight. Don't forget 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard or 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. 7:30 is real time. Eastern Standard is fake time. We all know that. Someday, so will TF. But make sure you come over there and check us out, even if no more than a like and a sub. And make sure you go and like Traveling Fools and Mr. LW's channels as well, and KJ's. So, anyways, thanks so much, and we will see you guys in the YouTube streets. Love y'all. Oh, and there's no intro this time, or outro, so lucky you. Good night. Goodbye.